Well, there are many different sorts of history teaching, but I think the sort of more interactive approach is really important. So what they really benefit from really good history teaching is that they come to the realisation of what they need to know and how they need to find it out. They develop all sorts of skills within the context of a specific subject that they are interested in. And I think really good history teaching makes people think that history is really important, and they understand why, and that all history can be important. And they don't just think it's a sort of generic experience, it's subject specific, it's something that they will remember. So they might go to an archive, you might take them on a trip, you might take them around to a church, or whatever it is you're doing. There will be something memorable, but it will also develop skills. Yes, I think history has all sorts of things that it has, actually. One of which is really to do, and perhaps the most important thing, is really to develop a critical stance towards one's own society, which I think is really important. And that can be done in all sorts of ways. And one of the ways in which it can be done is by, if you like, perhaps one of the least interesting ways, but quite common ways, is what we might call historiography. So looking at what historians write, comparing them, cross-referencing them, investigating why one historian may be better than another or more effective at telling a particular story than another. But actually, I think more important, really, as a sort of as something that students really enjoy, is when they actually encounter the real evidence of history, whether it is a document or a piece of pottery or a landscape or a person if they're interviewing an elderly person or whatever it is. When they go direct to the source, that's something which is important and is something which history is very good at. There's a very, very wide range of sources. Almost anything can be a historical source from the survival from the past. And that, being able to cope with that and understanding how to actually manage different bodies of evidence, how to critique different bodies of evidence. So other disciplines do it, but they don't do it in quite the same way, and I think with such range and diversity and over such a long time period. So I think there are subject-specific things. I think also one of the things that history is very particular about is actually rooting people in a sense of their own society and contrasting that with other societies. So one of the things that one of the sorts of teaching that's very interesting to do is when you have a group of students that are from very diverse backgrounds. And that will bring out why history it can be controversial, for example, or challenging. So if you have in a room, I mean, I teach a lot of gender history, for example, and if you're teaching a session on masculinity in the past and most of the students are women, you get a very different. So I think history can go in all sorts of directions depending on group dynamics as well.